What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Planetbase. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a while and check out a game that I'm not even scheduled to play today. Like, I'm not even supposed to be doing this right now. There are other series to be worked on at this given moment. And what's funny is I just want to play Planetbase, and I think that's actually pretty indicative of how this entire week has gone for me. I'm like, I could sit down and record something that I'm supposed to, or I could just play Planetbase for 4 or 5 hours and then dump the footage on YouTube. I mean, I do like the game. So how far is our defense grid going right now? Is there an overlay, perhaps, that's like around here where I could make the rooms that are being viewed one color and the rooms that are not being viewed another color? Manufacturing limits. Oh, there are manufacturing limits. Okay. So in the previous episode, I had actually thought that the UI should be on each machine, but actually you can do it right here. So I would say that we should take spares to maybe 20. We should take guns to maybe like 20, and semiconductors, we should keep those sitting at around 20 maybe. Medical supplies, just keep making those bots. I'm not really that concerned about. At the moment, we do have a couple of issues with our supply line, but I think that's largely just due to the fact that it's nighttime, so we got our B team working on everything. And I don't mean it like they're bad at their job, but it's just kind of like the night crew filters through. Like, they do some things, and then other things they kind of just ignore. So for right now, what I'd like to do is I'm just going to hang out for a bit and keep an eye on the base. Let time go by as normal. What is our immigration policy right now? We have a sandstorm imminent. You know what? That's fine. We got plenty of drugs and everything else. Everybody just keep working. I can't afford to not have people on shift right now, so just do your thing, everybody. Where is he going? Why do we have an engineer going? Oh, he's picking up on ore over there. See, why is my engineer spending time picking up ores? Is there nothing else for him to do? So oxygen's at 79 out of 106 units. I like how we just have generic oxygen units. Welcome to the colony. Enjoy your complimentary oxygen units, generically made by Splatcorp. This place would become a hellish... You can't leave me in charge of a place like this. I'm pretty sure that you can't. This would become a very, very real experiment in dystopian nightmares. I'd be sitting on like a throne of human bones and fire in one corner over here. I'd have xenomorphs as pets. I'd be like, you there, engineer. Fix my sex robot. And he'd be like, but no, I don't want to. Can you at least put it through the wash or something first? I'm like, xenomorphs, consume him. And they just go out. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. I can tell already. So is there no sunlight today? Ain't no sunshine in the stove. Oh, never mind. The sun's still coming up. Slowly, I might add. This is a pretty long sandstorm, all things considered. This thing's been cooking for a bit. It should go away in just a minute. I think the sandstorm just makes people walk around slowly, and it like increases their chance to get injuries or something. I'm not totally and completely sure how the whole thing works. Anyways, looks like we're producing something over here. We have another metal unit going through. We have tons of plastics. I actually should strongly consider getting rid of some of the plastics, or at least spending them on something. But we don't really need anything right now. Like, our base is doing pretty well. I think we've struck an equilibrium, and I don't want to expand too quickly. I kind of want to let things settle and just trade for a bit. Let's have a look at the trading ship real fast, since I just said that that was what I wanted to do. We have 28 plastics. Like, it wouldn't kill us if I just turned over, like, 15 plastics, and then that would put them back on the production line to work on other things. What's his commission? 65%? Jesus. Alright, well, I could just take the generic cash. He does have robots, though. What robots does he have? Hold on, you stop that right there. You can actually click and hold, too, and it makes things go away. What is this right here? Tooltip. I want you to pop. There's a difference between these little things right here, but I still haven't memorized them. Tooltip. How much would you like to pop right now? Tooltip? Anything? The tooltips appear to not be home right now, and they don't want to hang out. Normally, there's a little thing that pops out right here when you mouse over something and tells you what it is. I think that's a driller bot. I think one of these is like a carrier bot, and one of them is... Ooh, that one's expensive, though. I don't want to hang out with that robot. That robot's too rich for my blood. I'll take this one. I don't know what it is, but I want it. Let's take it. Splattercat, trading things that he has no idea what they are. Since 2010, y'all. I figure that's the robot that I want. That is the droid that I'm looking for. And we only have 4 right now, so we could definitely use some more robots. What kind of robots do I have? Let's take a look at our... where do I take a look at robots at? Not there. Stats. So constructor bots, driller bots, carrier bots, and just bots in general. Oh, so we have 2 constructors and 2 carriers. That's good enough. I'd like to produce my own bots at some point, but I think you need the manufacturing Like, I don't know if you need the manufacturing engram or whatever it is in order to create them. We're doing really well on power right now, by the way. I think that our power grid should be pretty solid for the next coming little bit. It looks like we're filling up really, really well in all of our different reactors or power collectors or whatever you want to call them. But we could add a few more. Speed that on up because I need our resources to come back. Our vegetables are on the rise. Everything else, however, appears to be on the low. Carrier bot, what are you doing over here? All of these are taken care of. I would love to see them get loaded up a little bit better. I just love the activity in this game, too. Like, how it's a beehive of activity. But at the same time, looks like he's a carrier bot. That's exactly what I wanted anyways, so we're all good. But at the same time, the game doesn't lag or have like frame rate issues or anything like that, even though there's loads of stuff going on. It really speaks to the proficiency of the development team in getting their iterative tasks all scheduled like in a little programming background. Like everything that happens under the hood in this game is done efficiently. That's why you don't see the frames lagging. Games like this typically have a lot of problems because each one of these little individuals has to make calls to functions and things like that as they look around the base. They all have to check pathways and things like that. It's very, very complicated making a game like this where everything functions and doesn't bog down the player's processor with a bunch of random menial tasks. And so we're up to 523. We're still on the rise as far as it would seem with plastics. I tried to swap it on over by adding an extra processor. You guys are just leaving that right there. It's almost done though. It's almost done though. There we go. Let these stack up for a little while. I think we're probably going to need... Well... I think a second dining hall wouldn't be a terrible idea because the two that we have, the machines are stocked with food. Like they are, sincerely. The machines are stocked with food. They're just having a lot of trouble keeping up with the fact that there's so many people coming through and hitting up the machines that it's getting behind. And so that means we need more food production machines. Meanwhile, down here, actually things look okay down here. We may need a second diner in probably this northern area up here. I'd really, really like... I don't know, I might just put it on this side right here so that there's two of them. And people can go to whichever one they like if that's the one that they're happy in. The cat right now is clawing my leg, sorry. I'm going to have a momentary, like, thought fart because he is running claws across... Stop it. You. Hey. Stop it right now. Go. There we go. Kitty effectively punished. So anyways, I just brushed him with my foot. I was like, go. Get out of here. And that's all that I... Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here, you feline. Get out of here. So, I don't really have anything else to trade. Neither do you, though. A GM onion would be badass. The Grand Marshal onion. Who doesn't love Grand Marshal onions? I do think we can do more power storage. We're going through about half of it right now. And so maybe I'll use some of this metal to expand this slightly over here and just keep it sort of running in this direction. Or if there's anywhere else where I can dump this stuff, that's fine by me too. So we've got our outdoor power collectors. I would say just to keep dropping big ones. They save space and they work pretty well, so I'll put one in right there. I'm trying to get ahead on our power production right now. How are we doing on ore? Basically, I want to look at everything. So with ores, we got 3 ores. We don't have people in the mines around the clock. Food is sort of at a weird equilibrium right now where I think we could do better with it, but at the same time... It seems like it's right on the edge of flipping over on us, is the way that I would look at it. Like, it's sitting at a pretty much an equilibrium where we're not gaining, but we're not losing any food, which means that if we wanted to take in more immigrants, we need to start thinking about other production areas that we can work with. And so down here, where's our most lucrative area as far as building goes? I'll probably start building things off in this direction. Is this watched? It is. Good. Fantastic. So what I'd like to do for right now is we've got our last oxygen producer. We've got a little bit of metal over here. That thing's already been built, which is absolutely fantastic because that means we now have about 50,000 units, 50,000 plus some down there. And I'll keep filling in spaces. Over on this side, I think we could probably get away with another mine or something like that. Let me see if I can drop another mine in here. Sort of depends on... See, I only have 2 workers in there. And I have 1 worker in here. I have very few miners. I need to keep them rocking. Just kind of keep it rocking. I'm afraid to open up production in any of these other machines because every time I do, they eat through my metal supply like instantly. But the metal supply chain seems to be pretty difficult to keep working. I don't think another mine's going to fix it, though. Because we don't have enough people working in the mines anyways. let's go ahead, and I'm going to get on top of a couple new things here. Let's jump in, and the first thing we're going to need, I think we're going to need another nope, not a base pad. I think we're going to need another biodome, or at least another lab, one of the two. A lab or a biodome. It doesn't really matter which one we pick. It doesn't look like I've fit anything right there. I saw it. I saw it. There it is. We'll put that in right there. And then we'll go, hey, I wanted that to connect to both. I mean, that branching off right there is okay, but I wanted it to connect to both. That's cool. Whatever, don't do what I want. I don't mind. I think another storage in this direction. This would just be prepping for the future, too. And I can't connect those two. I wish there was a way you could make like an overpass so that these two could connect, but it would still leave a gap right here that they could travel underneath. Like maybe an upraised hallway or something like that would be kind of cool, because this game turns into like a big spider web of nastiness as you play. And then on top of these, I think the next thing we're going to require is another biodome. And we're going to start working in this direction over here, so long as it becomes, you know, available. And so we'll put a biodome over here. And essentially all that I'm trying to do right now, so I'm just trying to spread out our production in one direction versus another. We got meals and food over here. Yeah, we're right on the edge, so that's cool. We'll focus on that for a little bit. Go ahead and move the speed on up. I realize our production is going to be a little bit slow for the next little bit, but we got to prepare for all the new people that are going to be coming to our colony. Because if we don't, we might end up in a death spiral of starvation proportions. There you go. Get those meals done. And this should also take a tiny bit of pressure off all this over here. And so I'm actually just going to do tissue synthesizers on this side. We don't really need the med labs. I'll probably just go in, what are those, like plastic? Yeah, I've got a stupid amount of plastic, so go ahead and just do whatever you're going to do. I think this is going to be an end cap room anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to me. And yes, we may not have the workers to use all these machines, but they will be here, ready, shiny, and new for all the new guys that come to the colony. And so we'll get all of those nice and set up. We may have a couple of power issues along the way. How are we filling up right now? What's our grid looking like? Because each one of these things we add is going to increase our intake. So we've got about double what we need at the moment. That'll be alright, because each one of these takes, what, a half a power? So that's perfectly fine. We should only really need like one or two guys to take care of that. That's a biodome. That's a storage. So the next thing that I would say is that we should go with a canteen, which will be right there. And I guess that'll get rid of one of our machines, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me that much. This will be a place that the workers can go when they're off on this side, and then we're going to keep expanding out this way as well, so that everybody in our little planet base can get themselves whatever they need whenever they need it. I want it to be convenient for everybody, because when you lack convenience, people get upset. They'll be like, what the hell, man? All I wanted to do today was eat a synthesized tissue sandwich. It sounded delicious. I will more than likely just make this one like low maintenance. We'll probably just go, well, medium maintenance. We'll go like that. I think we should probably do, I've got plenty of starches, right? Like I've got starches coming out of my ears. Good. So we got starches everywhere. Medicinal plants I think I could do better on, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I love mushrooms, man. Mushrooms are delicious. They can go in and on anything. I would put mushrooms in just about all of my food. And then on this side, that's just a storage room to help out with some of the random little constraints that we have. The final thing that we would need is a sleeping quarters over here to kind of get people relaxed and laying down and ready to go to sleep. We can do a cabin, a sleeping facility where each bed is owned by a colonist. Oh, really? No, CNT2. He's been damaged irreversibly. He was my only friend. He was the only one that we had. And now it's all over. He lasted a long time, you beautiful orange bastard. But unfortunately, it's time for him to go. Even the hardest of walkers has to walk away at the end of the day. Alright, so how's oxygen looking, by the way? Oxygen should be pretty sweet. So we've got 4 metal left. Food is looking like it's making a slight recovery. The canteen is up here, and this one actually, I'm just going to go in on a table. And then from there, I'm just going to go with a bunch of dispensers, because there are plenty of other places where they can get their needs met other than right here. And so, you know, we got a pretty rapid expansion right here. Not bad. Not bad. We may not have the biologists to make this work just yet, but nah. I'm not going to worry about it that much. We have one thing being stored right there. We'll get this stuff all nice and set up. It'll need to be stocked after that. It looks like food's making a slight recovery right now. Power situation is still looking fabtabulous. I don't even look at the graphs. I just look at the power meters and how full they are. I love the way that the UI is actually on top of all the various buildings too. That's one of those little casual things that a developer can do to make the whole experience better. And it makes it so that you aren't constantly looking at meters and whatnot. Like, you can if you really, really want to. If you're that guy that likes to look at the meters, you can absolutely do that, the meters and graphs. But if you just like to eyeball things kind of, I don't know, Dead Space style, you can do that too. Yep, there you go, guys. Get those patched up. We may need a few more biologists before this gets any easier. For right now, though... So this is actually an ending location. Well, here, make a big one right there. Why does it sound like somebody died? I heard like... No, Jesselyn Rivers, don't die of starvation. Why? We have meals. What, do you not want to, like, walk across the base to go get meals? Like it or not, I may have to do something about the food situation over here. I was trying to avoid that. Really, I can't place anything right there. Well, that's saddening. It's okay, though. I'll put one in right there. Perfect. I like that a lot. Presuming for a moment, while we consider, I hope that none of my robots get trapped in there while trying to build this thing. We got plenty of food. I think it's just there's not enough meal canteen, like, thingamajiggies up here. Yeah, this one will help out. It'll take some pressure off, hopefully. This one doesn't get used very much either, but once I build out a little bit further in this direction, make some new factories and whatnot, it should be alright. We only lost one. It was bound to happen eventually anyways. I forgot to build the connector right there. You, sir, what do you have for me? We have the recipe for what I assume is a gigantic storage room. We can get a driller bot or a carrier bot. I think I'm going to hold off for right now. You can just chill for a bit. Don't think we're going to need it. No O2 inside that building, so technically it's a death sphere right now. It's not really a location you want to go to spend your time. I may actually just cancel that real fast. I think it's a little risky to have that right there. I'm going to wait until it gets built, and then I'll have somebody else add that in once it's done. Come on, constructor bots. I believe in you. Because though we have a lot of parts, so that's good. However, the routine maintenance we have to do on most of our stuff tends to be... Oh, yep, our power grid is not doing what we want it to do. I think more wind turbines would not be a terrible idea. The thing about wind turbines is they don't work all the time, though, which always makes me a little bit antsy about having a ton of them. Like, sometimes you go a couple days without wind, and it's just like, well, that was an investment well spent. Carrier 5 has been damaged irreversibly. I don't know where he went. Where is he? Maybe not. Is that getting done over here? I know they have a long walk. I know it's going to take them a while to get it finished off, but I think it'll be worth it once it's done. That guy needs water. Are we low on water right now? How's our water supply doing? Water grid, 17 out of 23. We could probably do another extractor or two just to make sure that if we hit like a famine period... Oh, we are in the famine period right now. Okay, so that's pretty acceptable. Once those two little bridgeways get built, we'll be able to help out a little bit with our food situation. Because we have plenty of food. I think people are just having trouble accessing it right now. There we go. So on that side, it should take some pressure off these workers so that they don't need to filter into this room. This one right here will take the pressure off just about everybody as well. How many plastics do I have? 6. Trying to be careful about the way that I do this. So with the 6 plastics, there's 2. Oh, look at that. You can fit multiples. Well, shit, I should go back and make this more efficient then. Shouldn't I? It doesn't matter for right now, but one of these is going to have to be bulldozed. Oh, it's because of the water fountains. Never mind. I can't do anything with those. Never mind. I'm just making shit up. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this one I could do better. This one I could do way better. So let's say for a moment. They'll grab all of those. Let's put in a water fountain right there. Oh, maybe because of the size difference. Maybe one of them's like a medium or like a large. And instead I made like a little one over here. It's all good. So that explains why those would work. That canteen right here should be stocked up on food pretty quickly. I'll probably just throw in a couple more tables. And we'll just do the best that we can with it. In here, I would not lament a couple of water fountains. Some decorative potted plants, huh? Anybody want some decorative potted plants? Make the whole place look pretty? Yeah, there it is. Everybody knows prettiness is a major part of function and form. Everybody knows that. If it's not pretty, it probably won't work. If something is not aesthetically pleasing, how can you trust that it will work in the way that it's supposed to? You gotta paint it up. You gotta put some lipstick on that pig. Alright, so we got biologists over here. We got this little dormitory room over here that needs to be taken care of. I think this is a, yeah, this is a T-junction too, which means that it can't go anywhere else. It's like a last stop. Components all nice and done over here. You know, all of our supplementary stuff is looking pretty sexy right now. It's just everything else that we need to get ironed out. And so I'm really hoping that takes the pressure off this place over here. It's about the best I can hope for anyways. We only got a couple of people eating over here. But then again, it's not like a principal mealtime either. Like, they tend to go out every single night, like right before they go to bed or right after they get up in the morning. That's when I notice they eat the most food, when I see big drops in my supplies and provisions. So I'll probably leave them chilling for right now. Food is starting to be on the rise, which is good. I'm seeing a lot less of those little I'm hungry banners too, so things to be concerned about and things to no longer be concerned about. I've got medical supplies. I think it would take me a lot of medical supplies to get there. Maybe I'll build my own in a little bit. I don't really have the workers right now to make myself a whole bunch of new robots or anything. But we do... Well, I guess we could add somebody to that production. On these sides with the semiconductors and the guns, we're starting to show advancement with our... Yeah, we're starting to show advancement with our metals and our plastics. So I'm going to re-enable this real fast, and people can just fabricate whatever it is they think that we need. Take those semiconductors on up to 15 or 20, and then we'll have somebody work on guns around the clock so that we can open ourselves up to tourism and make a little bit of money in the future. And another storage thing over here. I've got a good supply. I've got metal right now. I don't know what I want to do. Either way, adding a new lab, adding a new biodome, and adding a new diner, I think, should help out a little bit. This is still by far one of the most popular ones, and that's to be expected. I have too much starch. Look at all the starch I have over here. I may need to get rid of some of that. I think this dormitory, is it functioning at max capacity? It totally is. Okay, so if it's at max capacity, that means I should probably add another dorm around here, too. Little bit out of space, though. Little bit out of space. And I don't mean for that to be like a space pun type deal. Just kind of is what it is. Actually, it looks like the south dormitory is functioning pretty much at max capacity, too. Alright. Well. Since this is a dead-end space anyways... Put in a bunch of bunks over here. Now, obviously, they're not double-tiered. Which is a little bit of a bummer because it means that we're, you know, using the same amount of space but getting less out of it. However, this should help out. Oh, look, our power storage bottomed out that night. Okay. More things to worry about as time goes along. I'm going to jump up in here. And these are pretty cheap, so I figure I should probably make a bunch of them. And so we'll do something like that right there. That'll look alright. And then coming back down this way, we'll do the exact same thing. I'm just trying to like make our power grid a little bit more satisfactory. How are we looking on metal? We got 13 metal right now. Okay. I'd like for this wind grid up here to be kind of like the end-all, be-all of my windy endeavors over the next little bit. And so we'll put that there. There we go. A little bit more expansion done. I like our base. It's a little bit hackneyed and all over the place, but it works. I mean, it doesn't work, I guess. But our workers definitely work, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I hope they add a thing that's like an overpass type deal so that you can pass over a little area where people can get out of your base. Now, technically, I could just shut down this airlock and then move it to the outer edge over here. Or like move it to right here, maybe. And then I could build in this space. But for right now, I like where we're at. So I'm going to break off the episode. This is Planetbase. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all later. I've been having a blast with the game. I'm looking forward to playing it with you more. We should be able to open up immigration pretty soon. I think that should help us out quite a bit with some of our worker problems. Still waiting on our meals and our food, though, to be at like a really, really huge surplus. And so I think we might need a couple more biodomes to get the whole thing running before I can actively start taking a few more workers on. All right, everybody. How do? I'll see you next time.